in your phone in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Jason J. Daniels Show. This is a podcast for the party people that dig WNBA basketball, specifically the fans of the Fever, the people who like good basketball. And I got to tell you, you've been seeing some good basketball. You just haven't seen winning basketball. How are you doing, guys? Tough loss tonight. This afternoon for the Fever. They played I guess, primetime game on ESPN and ABC for the Peoples. It was one hell of a game. One hell of a game. There's a lot to be learned by this game. A lot to be said. So we're going to gather around the campfire. All my kiddos. Okay, I will be your camp counselor. I will be your guru. I'll be your leader today. I'm going to guide you through this navigation of chaos. There is a lot of chaos going on with this team. The Indiana Fever is a team in crisis. They're a team in chaos. And if you're a fan, if you're a real fan, you're going to be in crisis too. You're going to be in chaos as well. Real fans are not on X posting idiotic, ridiculous things. Real fans are watching podcasts like mine by mature adults who know basketball, who know the game, and who are really trying to give you information that is cogent and relevant. So my first admonishment to you, if you're a fan of this team, is that turn off all of the idiots on social media that you're going to see. Obviously TikTok, obviously X. You're going to see a lot of crazy stuff. I saw a little bit of it today. I didn't have a lot of time, so I tuned a lot of it out. I took a break. If you saw me on X, I posted after the game. I actually had a lunch to do. I had some things to do today. So what I did was I posted, I'm really fucking mad. I'm really angry. And so I'm going to need some time. So I had to take some time away to think about it. I went and enjoyed my Sunday. It's a nice day outside. There's a window. I got a window there. It's a nice day outside. And I was like, I'm going to take a step back and I'm not going to let this loss get to me emotionally, because the last one really did. And the losses, the Connecticut one was a great win. Losses really will affect you if you love your team. Wins won't affect you as enough. It affects you. Wins won't affect you as much. Sorry, I'm got all these things going on. I'm worried about my sound check, so let me just get that out of the way. I've got to post. We've got some people's watching. Here we go. I'm gonna pin this here. I like to pin my profile on X, and I'm my own producer, guys. Again, just get that out of the way. There we go. Thanks for watching. This is the Jason J. Daniels Show. I am a podcaster who does sports. I do politics. I do a lot of different stuff: true crime, human behavior stuff. I talk about more than sports. We're going to do a lot of NFL when that's here. I have a TikTok that's pretty crazy, wild, growing. 600 new followers in 3 days. Thank you. Almost 9,000 followers, just sports. So, you can check that out. But I wanted to take some time today. I'm breaking from my regular format because going over stats, going over rebounds, going over the stats of the other team, not going to help us right now. Not going to help us going forward. This team is in crisis, so I'm going to be your crisis counselor, and I'm going to tell you about the things that this team needs to do to become a championship team. How do I know? I've been watching basketball. I've been studying it. I've played it. I know basketball. I know championship teams. I know potential. This team has potential. This team is not living up to the potential. They're not. And there's some reasons why. Because the second year of Caitlin Clark is essentially the second year of this team trying to be a dynasty. That is the goal. There's a lot of pressure on this team. You're putting pressure on this team. I'm putting pressure on this team. The world is putting pressure on this team to be a championship team. They think this team will eventually be a dynasty. So I'm going to tell you about what that takes, because you're disappointed because you care about this team and you want this team to win. You ultimately want them to win a championship. You're disappointed when they don't win. That means you care. That means there's something to this magic, which is sports. And that's why, let me just reiterate that if you're listening to idiots that have profiles, let me just tell you this. There are a lot of idiots on social media that have fake profiles or icons that aren't real people. They have fake names. They don't have their identity on their profiles, and they're just going to just spew garbage that they're pulling from other sources, okay? They're not thinking and doing what I'm doing. They're not critically thinking about the game. They're not even probably watching the game. They're just trying to get hits and views, and they're saying things that are negative in order to get you to watch or read them, mostly read them, because they're not on video like me. They're not podcasting like me. But podcasters, listen to them. Us that are putting our faces out there, listen to us. We are real. So don't listen to someone that's going to, there's a lot of negative Caitlin Clark stuff right now. Do not listen to it. I can tell you exactly what's going on with Caitlin Clark. I can, just by watching the game. Obviously, I'm not part of the coaching staff. I'm not in her world, but neither are they. So you should listen to somebody that puts their face out there, their identity out there. Someone, doesn't have to be me, just has to be somebody that's actually really invested. So the first thing I'm going to say, and thank you guys for watching on the internet. I'm my numbers, the live numbers might not be as high because I'm doing this show later, but I had to take a break because of family and just to think about it. But I'm going to give you some things that are intangibles. I'm not going to get into numbers much, a little bit, but I'm going to give you some intangibles that will probably make sense to you about why they're losing to bad teams. The ACES, bad team. Wilson is an MVP that's a manufactured MVP for the league. We saw that in the way the referees made sure she took over the game in the fourth, right? We saw that. We saw the Fever didn't get the same amount of free throws, right? We saw that at the end there was a fake foul that was a joke. I'll talk about it. That foul was completely created by the referees to make sure that the Fever didn't come back, because Caitlin just came back, had at that point, scored 2, got a steal, scored 2, 4, just like that. Caitlin Clark could take over a game and score you 10 points in 30 seconds. We've seen her do it, 40 seconds. And then that was what was on the clock. So make no mistake, the referees know exactly what they're doing. But the one thing I need to make a point of is let me just start with the intangibles. Let me just start. One, this team is not fucking mean enough yet. They're not, okay? They got really mean and beat down Connecticut, and that was awesome, right? We haven't seen that now, right? What we're seeing is they went to Golden State to be nice. They had all their family showing up. They gave out something like 50 tickets to family and friends. They had dinners. Everybody was, yeah. They're not mean enough. All right? They go to San Francisco. They're writing articles about Caitlin going to a restaurant, giving her, I love Caitlin as much as you do. But San Francisco was about being celebrities. Las Vegas, about being celebrities. So this team is not mean enough. Now, when they're mean and they're fucking angry, they win. When Caitlin Clark plays angry, she wins. Let's be honest. She hits you to 3, gives you the tongue. Right? She does all that stuff. She's chippy. She's nasty. She's mean. She talks shit to people. And then she argues with refs, and they win. This team is not mean enough yet. And they're mean in spurts, but they're not mean enough yet. This team needs to make a choice. Do they want to be famous, or do they want to be champions? Now, Caitlin Clark is famous forever. If she stops playing basketball tomorrow, she'll never not be the same level of famous. She'll always be famous. Stephanie White, nobody knew who she was really, even though she's a championship coach. Nobody knew who she was. Sophie Turner, Lexi Hull, people kind of knew. Aaliyah Boston, only because of Caitlin. Nobody knew anybody on this team, right? So now this team is getting famous. They're very famous. They're so famous, they're like celebrity famous in the sense that just by being in a photo with Caitlin Clark, they're famous. They're going to get 500,000 followers on social media. It's crazy. Just look at what happened with Sophie. She got into the fight. She got into the thing. She was cool. It was dope. She's defending Caitlin, and all of a sudden her jerseys sell out. They have to stop online sales, if you saw that article. She goes to like 1 million Instagram followers overnight. Famous. So this team is getting a level of famous that they have never experienced before. Caitlin's used to it, they're not. So this team is super famous. They could lose the rest of the games the entire way through. They're still going to be fucking famous. They'll be even more famous for losing and underachieving than they might be famous for winning a championship. That's the reality. We're not living in a world where winning is important. What's important to people now is how popular you are on the internet, how controversial you are, what you're wearing, what is your numbers on social media. Make no mistake, that's more important than it's ever been. So this team right now needs to make some choices. And if I was the coach or if I was a motivational person, I'd come in and say, you guys, and this is, I will say this, Deion Sanders doesn't like me. By the way, I have been blocked by Deion Sanders. Okay, there you go. I am the man blocked by, yes, primetime Deion Sanders. Didn't like my criticism of Colorado, so he blocked me. Okay, so look, my stuff gets watched by sports people. I've had Chiefs, I've had Colorado Buffaloes on watching my show. I've had Chiefs players responding to my social media. Not a big deal, but it's a thing. Okay, so sports, people that actually play this game pay attention to my social media. And if I was talking to them like Deion would do, Deion actually did this with it, and that's, I think, part of his success. He would talk to his non-famous players and say, you're now going to be famous. How do you handle that? Do you want to be famous or do you want to win? That's what you got to tell this team. And so I think what's going on now is they went on the road and they are rock stars on the road, man. It's nuts. So at home, you can be mean and nasty because, it's a home crowd and everything works and everybody's used to you at home and you got your comfortable environment and you're seeing your friends and people get used to seeing you in town. And so you're famous, but you're not treated like rock stars in your town. That's just natural, right? People get used to you. But when you finally take it on the road, Caitlin Clark was famous last year. Her team wasn't. This team is now very famous. It's made for TV. Smart. It was really smart the way they put this team together. But the curse of that is they're very famous now. Lexi Hull, Sophie, Aaliyah, even Coulson became more famous when she had to compete with Ari McDonald. Ari's still famous. She's not even on the team, man. DB hasn't been playing. Everybody's famous on this team. I can name the entire team. They're all famous right now. They're all getting written about. It's a thing. So do they want to be famous or do they want to be champions? When Stephanie White saw that the referee screwed them in the fourth quarter on the idiotic fake fucking foul, we knew what it was. She didn't do anything. She did nothing. See, that's when you get thrown out of a game. That's what a real coach does. I'm very disappointed in her. I'm disappointed in Stephanie White because she did take this opportunity to send a message to the fan base and to the WNBA and to her team. Get thrown out. You should stop that game, get on the court and say, that's wrong. That's wrong. Look at this video. We know it's not. You can't slide into. I don't want to waste my time by telling you this. If you thought that was a foul, was it Jackie Young? Yeah, I think Jackie Young slides into home base, takes out Aaliyah Boston's feet. Okay? And they called a foul on Boston when just after Caitlin scored 4 points in like a 5-second stretch and got a steal, maybe 10 seconds, and demonstrated they could come back on that game and at least probably get to overtime or make it very hard on the Aces. The refs intervened on purpose. We all saw it. But Stephanie who has run her mouth about the refs. Stephanie who has made a thing about the refs. Stephanie who has died on that hill got tough in press conferences. When she had a chance to really make it a thing that would have made it important for people to pay attention to, she cowered to the league on purpose. You get thrown out in that situation. And then your team rallies. You got a really great assistant coach, and the team rallies, and maybe you make a point and almost win that game. But see, she is caught up in being nice and famous. Of course, they got criticism for fighting back, right? Everybody was talking about that Connecticut game. They got more famous. Every time they fight, they get more famous, but you have to fight for the right reason. So Stephanie White cowered to the WNBA. She knew they needed to lose that game. To me, it really smelled like WWE. It smelled like the script. It smelled like Stephanie saw it. She challenged it because we all knew it wasn't a foul. Even unpatriotic Rebecca Lobo, we'll get to that, who hates America, we'll get to that, even said that that wasn't a foul. We all know it's not a foul. But Stephanie allowed it to be a foul because it was going to be a foul of the way, but she allowed it to go because she got her ass kicked. She got outcoached, got her ass kicked, and instead of doing what you do in that situation, taking advantage of that moment, she let it ride, and they lost. Now, they were losing anyway, but still, it was just, I'm so disappointed. She should have gotten thrown out. She should have gotten thrown out. She's just not mean enough. This team is not fucking mean enough. They're just not. They're mean when they need to be. They're mean when somebody attacks them, but they're doing what you should not do to win a championship. You should not be waiting for an attack. You should attack. You should be physical. You should be Draymond Green. Why do you think the Warriors are so successful? They've got Draymond Green, who every time he goes out, he comes up with a new fighting move. Hit chokehold. I mean, come on. Chokehold, karate hit. It's almost like every time I watch Draymond Green attack somebody, I'm thinking he's almost, what's he, trained to be Batman? It's like Ra's al Ghul is training him. It's insane, man. He's so mean. He's mean before he gets there. The Fever need to be mean. It's not just Steph Curry hitting great shots. That's important, but it's because the Warriors have a swagger and they're mean. When the Bulls added Dennis Rodman, it made a huge difference. Dennis Rodman just was mean and crazy. You need mean and crazy, not on this team. They're trying to be celebrities now. Look, they're automatically celebrities, so I'm not blaming them, but this team's just not fucking mean enough. So if you're looking for what the problem is, that's a main problem. They're just not mean enough. They're getting pushed around. They're not fighting back. They're not. How about this? You guys are going to get all sorts of fake fouls called on you under the hoop so that Asia Wilson can get free throws. All sorts of fake fouls. Why don't you earn them? That's what I'd say. I'd say, oh, you know what? If I'm going to get a foul, I'm going to give you a hard foul like Caitlin did. Caitlin gets technicals when she doesn't deserve it. I say fucking earn it. Get them. Hit them. Be mean. Show teams that you're mean. Stop trying to be nice. So one of the problems is this team is too nice. All right? Also, stop talking about Caitlin Clark. There's a lot of you idiots on social media I saw today. You're talking about Caitlin Clark. What's wrong with Caitlin Clark? Well, she's hurt. All right? Do you think that you come back from a strained quad and you're cool overnight? No. She's dealing with an injury on the road. You're on the road. You're not home. You don't have home cooking. You're getting beat down every night because the refs are letting it happen. She's playing injured. People are typing, why isn't she, talking? Why isn't she talking trash? Yeah, she's not talking trash because she's trying to stay focused because she's hurt. She's also trying to give her team what they need. I mean, think about this. And thanks for watching, guys, on YouTube. Appreciate it. I see you guys. Thank you. Think about this. Caitlin Clark can either score 25 or 30 and help you win that way, or she can distribute the ball and give you 10 assists, something that's unheard of, get a double-double, try to get the team involved. It's still not good enough. You tell me she's not doing enough. That's nuts. It's not Caitlin Clark. So if you're thinking it's her problem, she had 19 and 10 against Vegas on the road, okay, with dealing with an injury. You can tell she's dealing with an injury. Come on. She can't hit threes. Was it 1 for 9 today? She can't hit threes. That's what happened when she was hurt. So she's got to play through it because they can't afford. This is one of those injuries, and I guarantee the end of the season, they're going to talk about it. This is an injury you can't take time off because it's not going to get any better. It is what it is. It's just going to have to mend on its own. There are injuries in sports that are like that. Everybody at a high level plays with injuries. So you guys need to stop crying about something you don't know about. So if you're talking about Kayla's not doing enough, she doesn't have energy. She's 19-10. I saw one idiot who has a pretty large, substantial following post criticisms about Caitlin. What's wrong with her? 10 assists? You try 10 assists. It's a joke. So Caitlin Clark, there's not a problem with her other than physically she's being beat up. Okay, so stop talking about her because most of you don't know what you're talking about anyway. So I'll tell you this. If you want to know specifically what happened in this game in Golden State, I think I figured it out. It is the cardio. Look at this. They played great for 2 quarters. For one half, they played great. Get into the third quarter, they have a 10-point lead, and it goes away. They have been evaporating double-digit third-quarter leads the entire season. How does that happen at the same spot every game? It's called fucking cardio. So they're either over-practicing or they're not working on cardio. This team can shoot the lights out, but if your legs aren't there, you can't shoot shit. Did you notice are you also noticing at the end of the fourth or, in the fourth, their shooting is worse? It's not just Clark, it's everybody. Now, except Kelsey Mitchell, who I really loved tonight, she still can't hit a fucking free throw. Now, it wouldn't have mattered because they lost by almost 10, and she missed 3 free throws. Now, it would have been helpful because you want to score when the clock stopped. But my point is when you evaporate leads like that, it was almost like we could just pick the moment. Gone. I knew it. And it's called cardio. Same thing with boxers, same thing with MMA fighters. It's cardio. You think it's easy to go 5 rounds against a champion? Of course not. I've done this. Have you ever been in a ring with an MMA fighter? I used to train. Have you ever done 1 round? If you've done 1 round, it feels like 15 rounds. If you don't have cardio, it is the longest minute, 2 minute, 3 minute. It's the longest quarter of your life if your cardio gives out. It's a small team. You don't have 15 people on the roster to come in there in waves, so everybody has to have their cardio up. DB is out. That would be helpful. Turner comes in and she's worthless, doesn't do anything but make it worse, can't catch a pass, can't hit a layup, gets blocked. So that's not helpful. You don't have what it takes on the rotation to make this work with people that don't have good cardio. You need better cardio, bottom line. The only real criticism I have of today's game is Turner and Dantas. Now, Dantas is gone starting next week. She's going to Brazil, which is an absolute joke. So the commitment's not there with her. And I know what you're saying. That's her country. I don't care, dude. You either come to win a championship or don't come at all. And that's where my mindset is. And believe it or not, that's what your mindset is, because you want this team to win a championship. It's not good enough to be 20-20 again, which is what they're looking at. It's crazy. 6 and 7. This team is underachieving because they don't have their conditioning. If Caitlin's giving you 19-10 playing most of the game, it's not Caitlin Clark. It's the rest of the team. She's not evaporating that lead on her own. So Turner, not good enough. She comes in, plays so bad. Not good enough. And I don't know why she's playing over Dantas. Maybe it's because Dantas is leaving and they're trying to get Turner in the rotation, because there's going to be Dantas is going to miss some games. To me, it's a joke. I'd cut somebody. I'd be like, you're not on the team next year, dude. Make a choice. We're here to win a championship. We're not here to help you get better so you can go win some kind of medal with your country. Look, I'm not taking anything away from that, but are you here to win or not? Do you want to be a champion or not? You don't take a break in the middle of the year, the season, to go help your team win something, and you come back and it's a setback. This team has had so many setbacks but that's not an excuse. So if I'm the general manager, I'm like, she's not back next year because nobody made her go. She's choosing to go. It's a joke. And you've got Turner. That's a joke. She played like a joke. Can't even catch a Caitlin Clark pass. That should be an automatic requirement to be on this team. Catch a fucking pass. If you got to use your fingers, learn how to catch like a these players on this team. You should learn how to catch like a wide receiver. Extend your body, catch with two hands. It's not a normal basketball pass you're getting here. This is a high-level elite football quarterback pass. Use your fingers, baby. And then Turner, not only she can't catch a pass, then she goes back the next possession. Caitlin delivers the ball on the money, and she gets blocked. Turner doesn't, lazy stuff. It was a lazy attempt. Look, it's a real criticism. No energy she brings to it. So my only criticism, and thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate you on YouTube trying to figure out this loss. But my only criticism, other than the cardio, that's your biggest problem, and the focus, because everybody's trying to be too famous now. I get it, but they got to work on their focus. But my only criticism from today's game was that you've got Turner not in the game, and you've got Dantas already planning on taking a break. That's not championship caliber. That doesn't work for me. That does not work for me. So what are you going to do? You have to work through obstacles like that. Now, there's a conversation again that with Dantas out and DB doesn't come back, they might get a hardship exception again. That's fine, but where are you going to get a big? You need somebody big. Clearly, when you got Wilson and you got to deal with Frank and Grinder, and you got to deal with like Marbury, and you've got to deal with some really tough power forwards and centers, you need some bigs. So you got Turner that's not going to step up. I hope she does. She's on this team for a reason. She must have potential, but I haven't seen it all year. If you have Turner step up and play great, you're in good shape. But you got Dantas out next week. She's going to be out till the 5th, I think. And then she comes back. It's going to take a week to get back in. She's not going to be really prepared for a number of games. It's sad. Clearly, she doesn't want to be a champion. So stop talking about DB. I have a typo there. Sorry, guys. Stop talking about DB not being there. I know what you're saying. That doesn't make a difference right now, because if DB not being there didn't account for a 10-point lead evaporating in the third. DB not being there does not account for losing by 10, she's good for 3 points, maybe 4 points. Like, that's the difference she makes. Not good enough. So, and you've won games without her. Big games. Not good enough. So don't worry about that. It's not about that. The real headline here, I think the real headline, to get down to the fundamentals of the problem, the real headline, why they lost to two bad teams, essentially now making them a bad team again. I mean, I thought if they beat Wilson and the Aces, even though they're struggling, it's still a huge win on the road. Fixes all problems. Winning fixes all problems. But now losing makes them worse. The headline is this team is either practicing way too hard, because that's a possibility, or they're not in shape because they get tired at the end of these games. You don't have a fantastic, stellar second half. Think about this. In more than one of these games that they've lost, and lost embarrassingly, the Fever came out and started punching down the team they're playing. Huge stats, good, great numbers. Caitlin, 6 assists today in the first quarter. Cool stuff like that. Boston had 10 points or something in the first quarter. Crazy stats. Playing well. First and second quarter. Killing it. Start well in the third quarter in most cases. Then they get to the middle of the third. It's downhill, and there's no cardio. Why you give up leads? Okay, when you have really good defense early, great defense, trapping, movement. I mean, stealing the ball. How many steals did they get in the first half? Really great defense. I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice. Really great defense. And then you come back from halftime, and then you can't keep a lead, and then you can't hit shots, and then the other team that you were shutting out starts to play incredibly well, and it teeter-totter. It flips on you, right? And then you're the one trying to catch up. All of a sudden, you're losing, right? all of a sudden you can't keep up on defense. That's called cardio. It's called cardio. Okay. So if you're the coaching staff, you need to figure out what's going on with the cardio. You got to figure that out. I know that you're saying that it's the refereeing, and I agree with you. That shit was nuts. That shit was fake. They did fix it so that Wilson could win that game. I understand the free throws were completely lopsided. Yes. Now, earlier in the game, the ball was being delivered on the money so gracefully by Caitlin Clark, and Boston was playing at a high level that there really wasn't opportunities to foul them. They were too fast. So that was part of it. But you can't have that. I'm not even getting into the numbers, but you can't have that wide chasm like that and not see that the referees were cooking it. But I'll say this. You had a 10-point lead, dudes. So when they start losing games by referee and they're close games and it's clear that they're losing by referee, then come talk to me. But don't even fucking bring it to me if this team is not going to have cardio. Don't do that. If you're going to give up that kind of a lead, don't bring it to me. They couldn't. The problem is this team needs to slow it down when they get a big lead, but they can't because Caitlin keeps pushing the ball on them because she has the best cardio and they don't. So that's a problemo. And Caitlin is an animal. She is instinctual. Do you remember the moment in, I think, the third quarter where Caitlin had the ball and she was bringing it up and she kind of head faked and then kind of did a ball fake and was trying to fake it, and she lost the handle and just handed it to, was it Wilson or whoever it was guarding her up close, and they just took it back. That's Caitlin realizing this team's tired. Because this team doesn't have good cardio, and in some cases bad hands, she's trying to make too many decisions in her head because she's losing trust. That's a lack of trust from your star. Caitlin's going nowhere, guys. This team will if they don't figure this shit out. Hey, they can make trades too. If I was the general manager, I'd really think about trading somebody. I would. I'd think about trading Turner or Dantas because they're not committed. I would think about that. That's just me. I mean, I have to figure out what the trade deadline is. That's a possibility. Hell, I'd trade for Angel Reese right now. At least she's got cardio. I mean, I'm very hard on her. She is a bricklayer, but at least Caitlin can throw her the ball, and she does have decent hands. Clearly, she's a rebounding queen. Fuck, I'll take that over Dantas, who's not even there. I'll tell you this. With Dantas not showing up and going to another team to play in the middle of this very important stretch for this team that can make or break this team, I take anybody over her that shows up. That shows you presence in accountability is everything in pro sports. It's everything about winning a championship. Michael Jordan, there's a story in the playoffs, I think. It was the playoffs of the Bulls. Dennis Rodman goes to Vegas, gets wasted for 2 days. They had a break between the playoff, I think, series. Rodman misses a practice. Michael Jordan drove to the hotel room and banged on the door and dragged Dennis Rodman to fucking practice. Okay? That's how important championships are. Really. If you want them. So this team does not want to win a championship yet because the signs are not there. I hope they get there, but the signs are not there. This is, I have to amend what I was saying earlier. This is a championship caliber team, but not a championship team yet because they don't want it. They just don't want it. They don't. So Caitlin, that little fumble with this, the turnovers on her, she's by the end of the game, she knows her team's tired. She's losing trust in them. Yeah, it's a physical game. Yeah, you're going to get beat down. It is 40 minutes. But I tell you what, at least Angel Reese shows up. At least she shows up. I got a lot of respect. You know what I don't have respect for is people that don't show up. I don't. So you can blame the refs all you want. I don't want to see it on social media. I don't want to hear it. Now I'm about to talk about the refs really quick. I don't have a lot of time today. Well, I do, but I'm not going to take up any more time because it's not about the stats right now for me. It's about the intangibles. Thank you guys for watching on YouTube, Jason J. Daniels Show. I'm trying to figure out this streak of losing like everybody else is and what's going on with the fever. But it's the referees helped Asia Wilson cook the game because she is a brand that they have to promote. They were doing that all last year. But it's not about the referees. It's about the team not having cardio and not having a mentality of kill or be killed. They had it against Connecticut, but they don't have it against weaker teams. And it's not because they think they're better. It's because they have all these intangibles not locked down. A lot of moving parts right now for this team they got to fix. So why are they giving up the leads? Like I mentioned, it's simple. It's cardio. This team is not in shape to go 4 quarters. After seeing this happen over and over and over again on the money, almost like clockwork, you can look at it and go, this team gets tired in the third and they give up a double-digit lead that leads into the fourth quarter, and then a bad team flips it. Because I think this is what's going on. I think this coaching, they're watching the video, and the coaches are going, they don't have cardio, so let's just let them punch themselves out early. That takes time and maturity. Have you ever seen a boxing match or an MMA fight where somebody is punching the hell or kicking the hell out of somebody early? They're taking all the punishment, and then they come back, the person getting the punishment in the first round, second round, they come back and get a knockout in the third or the top of the second or the fourth because they let that other person, their opponent, punch themselves out. That's what's happening with the fever. Yes, we love to see it. It's exciting basketball. But if this team had cardio to do that for 4 quarters, cool, but they don't. They've got cardio to do that for about 2.5. So they need to really pace themselves and start to run some plays that pace themselves. I understand Caitlin is an animal. She's instinctual. She's going to pass that ball. She's going to see it and take it. I get that. You saw a lot of that today. She was thinking pass first, score after. It's what the team needed. It's fine. But this team needs to step up their cardio so Caitlin can they can at least catch up with her, or she can at least hold back a little bit and know that if they want to turn on the Jets in the fourth quarter, they're there. I want to see a first quarter beat down. Then I want to see a third quarter beat down. I want to see a second quarter chill. That's what I want to see. So the coaches need to work on that. So the problem with this team is cardio. Very simple. It's very simple. So I'm not going to blame the refs. Another typo there. Sorry, guys. I'm just typing this fast. I actually do. A lot of it is I'm thinking it as I go. I'm not going to blame. I didn't fix it right. I'm not going to blame the refs if they're going to keep giving up 10-point plus leads in the third. I can't blame the refs. I'd like to. That's easier, but I can't do it. So they need to stop doing that. Now, some good things, okay? I'm going to give you some good things. Boston was a monster. She looked really good. Her hands are improving. Man, she's so good. I love that, okay? I love that. It's not Caitlin Clark's fault, but she's not shooting enough. And that's something I want to talk to you about. I spent a lot of time with the other stuff. I should have did this first. Caitlin Clark does not shoot the ball enough. That's part of our problem too. You think she's shooting too much. And when they say she's 1 for 9, she's 0 for 7, whatever, when the announcers make a thing of it, it puts a seed in your mind of doubt that maybe she's shooting too much. She's not shooting enough. I looked at the stats for Steph Curry, Michael Jordan, and LeBron James, and Kobe. Jordan had the most shot attempts in his career. Think about that. And he played less than, I think, Kobe, and played less than LeBron, maybe less than Curry. I believe he played less. I know LeBron's career has been longer than everybody. From Curry to Jordan to LeBron to Kobe, the average is 19 to 23 shot attempts through their career. We're talking attempts a game. Jordan was the highest at 22, 23 average shots a game. Caitlin Clark right now, let me look at it. I pulled it up. Caitlin Clark is at 16 shots a game. Not enough. It's not good enough. So one of the problems is Caitlin needs to take at least 5 more shots, maybe 6 more shots a game. Yes. If you're losing, why don't you just have her shoot more? That's easy math, okay? It's not the defense either. A lot of it has to do with she's distributing, so it's a change of mentality. She's distributing before shooting. I don't like that. She's a shooter. She's an animal. She's not known for her assists. What is she known for? Shooting the ball. Now, if she had gotten famous in college for distributing the ball, that's fine, but it didn't. No one gets famous for that. She got famous for hitting threes at the buzzer and winning big games. She got famous for scoring 10 or 12 in a bunch, bringing her team back, being unstoppable shooting. She's not shooting enough. So I don't know if that's her or the coaches, but it's not good enough. Look, I'd rather her lose and shoot 25 shots. Kelsey Mitchell shoots more than her. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But let's think about today. Winning is all you need. Winning is everything. Okay, it's about winning. I liked how Kelsey Mitchell played, but they lost. I like how Aaliyah Boston played, but they lost. I like that Caitlin got a double-double, but they lost. You can fill in the blank. When Caitlin shoots the lights out, they win. So I'll do more on this in the future. I'll even do a segment on it where I'll pull up the stats online. Look, I had AI pull it up for me. AI don't lie. She's not shooting enough. It's not her fault. So I just say to you guys, we need to have some real talk here. We have a team that is too famous for their own good. It's hard for them to handle on the road. They're like rock stars. That's new for them. That's tough. We have a team where everybody brings it and attacks them hard. We have a team where the referees are not helping them. The referees are working against them. And we have a team that's not letting their superstar shoot enough. We have a team that has an injured superstar, but they're not letting her shoot enough. She is still hurt, guys. You don't play like that and then play like this and have an injury like a quad injury and then come back 100%. It's not realistic. You don't come back after 19 days and be fully healed. You can be, but in this case, she's working it hard all the time. It's not in the games. It's also in practice. So you got to take either time off in the game or time off in the practice. So they're probably giving her less practice time, which was not always a good thing, or they're pushing more practice time to get her legs strong, which is turning into a thing for cardio. I don't know. I think she has the best cardio on the team. I haven't seen evidence that she doesn't, but I have seen evidence that she's still kind of hurt, and she's getting a double hurt, but she's not shooting enough. Not shooting enough. Look, Caitlin needs to take at least 19 to 22 shot attempts a game. After looking at all the superstars, I did the math. This is part of the problem with their losing streak now. I did the math. Kobe, LeBron, Steph Curry, and Jordan, all of them are GOATs, okay? Their shot attempts in their career, I'm doing shot attempts, their shot attempts, 23 with Jordan, 19 for Curry, and that's the range. LeBron was 20, I think. Kobe was 20, 19 or 20. This is per game, per career. Caitlin Clark is in that classification. We know that. She can take over games. She's not shooting enough. That's part of the problem. She's averaging 16 shot attempts a game in her career. She needs to be averaging 20 to 22. That's what these are. By the way, how did I pick those guys? All champions. I didn't look for guys that won championships. I looked for multiple championship winners. So I looked at their stats and realized Caitlin Clark should be in that stratosphere. That's her potential, but she's not going to get there if she doesn't take more shots. And if you like Caitlin distributing the ball and having a double-double and making it even, that's not good enough. You got a double-double, she lost, okay? Boston gets an even distribution. You've got Kelsey Mitchell having a nice game. That's not important to me. What's important is winning. So if you want everybody to have a fair distribution of points, you're going to lose currently with this current makeup. In order to win, when this team wins, Caitlin shoots the lights out. Let's get back to that. That's all I'm saying. She needs more shot attempts. I did the math. She didn't take 22 shots tonight. That's what I need. Kelsey Mitchell will take that. You let her, she'll shoot you out. We know that. Cowboy Kelsey will shoot all day long. She doesn't care. Caitlin cares too much. Caitlin will get you the assist, but it's not a winning formula with this team right now. Maybe last year, not this year. So I need Caitlin to get you, get you 10 assists, but take more shots. I just want more shots. That's part of the problem. So I'm going to wrap it up. I had a lot more to say, but, it's not at this point. I'm just going to wrap it up. I said a lot. It's 45. This has been 45 minutes. I didn't plan on this today because there's not a lot to say other than the intangibles, and I'll review them for those of you joining. Thank you. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with this team. This team needs to make a choice. What's going on with the Fever? They're just so famous that they're going on the road like rock stars, and I do believe it's getting in their heads, and it's making them too nice. Because when you're famous, you want to be nice. You want everyone to love you. You don't want criticism that you're mean and nasty on the court. You don't want clips of you being mean and nasty because you want to be nice. Well, I'm sorry. Do you want to be nice or do you want to win a championship? Do you want to be famous or do you want to be a champion? There's a lot of champions that aren't famous. There's a lot of there's thousands of champions throughout sports history. Nobody knows their name. They're not famous. But you know what? They're champions. And that is all the difference. You don't remember the champions, but you always know they were champions. You know what teams they were on. So do you want to be famous? You want to be a championship team? That's the biggest issue right now. So let's talk about the referees. Lastly, yes, they completely rigged the fourth quarter. We saw the evidence, but I don't care because the Fever gives up a 10-point lead. And at the end of the third, if you give up a 10-point lead because you don't have cardio and you don't have focus, that's all you need to know about what went wrong. So I'm done. Don't bring the referees to me. Yes, in fact, I got really upset when I saw that, but I was more upset at the team because they got in that situation. You got a 10-point lead, dudes. How much more do you want? You have a 10-point lead. How much more do you need? Well, you need cardio clearly, apparently, because you can't keep a 10-point lead. So don't come to me crying about refs. Yes, they're cheating. Yes, what we saw with the Boston, Jackie Young sliding into Boston's leg, like sliding in a home plate. Yes, that was phony, fake. If you watch the replay, you see the referee watch it. Jackie looks up at him and he goes, foul. Moments later, wasn't a foul. You saw the replay. Unpatriotic Rebecca Lobo, low down dirty Lobo, even said it wasn't a foul. That was a momentum changer. Stephanie White let it go. I don't get that. So, and maybe she's just like, whatever, dudes. Like, if we're not going to play hard in the third, we're gassed out. We're not going to hit shots because we're gassed out. I mean, it's on her, but they're gassed out. I don't know why, if it's what it is, but let's just look at the facts. If they're so gassed out, they're going to give up a big lead, then it doesn't matter what the refs do to you. It just doesn't matter. So I'm not going to totally blame the refs if you're going to keep giving up 10-point leads in the third. And I don't necessarily blame the team. I blame the coaching. I blame the conditioning staff. They're just not in good shape. Caitlin's the only one that can go 4 quarters. The rest of them are not. So they got to work on that shit. They really do. They really do. So that's it. There's a couple other things, but I'm just going to move on. Not important right now. But if you backtrack this show, I didn't give you stats. I just gave you reasons why the intangibles, why this team that has all this potential is squandering it on bad teams. So right now, the Fever, they're like on the edge of 7th and 8th in the playoffs. Right now, they're currently where they were last year. No progress. They're looking at 500. No progress. They need to make progress by changing their attitude and being nasty, being mean. They need to go into LA and start cracking skulls. And again, if they go into LA they're celebrating. See, the media attacked Caitlin Clark all year last year now, and that made her mad. That motivated Caitlin Clark. I think she needs to be attacked again by the media. I think the narrative was Caitlin Clark is destroying the WNBA. She's getting famous for nothing. She hasn't earned it. That was the narrative. I really think that Caitlin needs to find a motivation like Jordan, like Kobe. Those guys, Curry, those guys motivated themselves by making up reasons to be mad. When you have so much success and you're rich like she is, the rest of the team is not. But when you're famous like they are, like that team, you need motivation. You need to be nasty. Champions are nasty. Champions are like Detroit, nasty. Champions are just like old school, like Celtics. Champions are like Bulls, nasty. They need to be nasty to get to that champion level. So they have championship potential, but I'm telling you, they're not championship level right now, not even close, because they just aren't nasty enough. So stop giving up those leads in the fourth quarter. And if you start giving up those leads, start punching people, start getting angry, start getting more break the record on technical fouls. Quit being nice. You're going to get them either way. So when they get attacked and fight back, they get negative press, but they win games. What do you want to do is my question. You want to win games or be famous? Do you want to win games or be famous? Famous people are not always champions, but champions are famous. So I would want to be a champion if I were them. Thanks for watching. My name is Jason J. Daniel. This is a Jason J. Daniel Show, a podcast where I do a lot of sports. I do politics. I do true crime. I do cool interviews. I have friends that I interview. I just like talking, apparently, but I love sports. I love basketball, football. Please follow me. If you like what you're seeing, please follow me or retweet or post. I'm sorry, a repost and a like. A like and a repost is a great gift for me. It tells the algorithm that what I'm doing is important, and I really appreciate that. Please follow me or sub. I'd appreciate that. I'm on Rumble. I'm on X, wherever you're watching this. I'm on YouTube. Thank you, YouTube. You guys are watching. I appreciate that. I can see you guys. YouTube, Rumble, and I'm also on X, on Twitch. So I'd appreciate you following and subscribing. If you don't like what I'm saying, please put a comment. I read the comments. Also, I am on TikTok at Real Jason J. Daniel. Thousands of followers. I do a lot of WNBA. We get controversial. We get crazy over there, and we have a lot of fun. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate you guys. The numbers are really strong, and I would not do this if you guys weren't watching. Maybe I would, but I appreciate you guys watching. Via con Dios, go with God, and let's hope that the Fever shake it off. They have the formula. They can do this, and they have the GOAT. She is the great one, Caitlin Clark. I cover Fever post games. I do post games after every show. Today I did it a little late, but usually I try to do it an hour after every show. Check it out on my platforms. Have a great Sunday. God bless you guys. Stay safe. Thanks for watching.